Talk loudly.
Hey now.
Okay, so what's your band name?
Band name is Helsott.
Okay, how'd your band start?
Well, about 2 years ago, we formed. The two original members were Eric and Mark, and they've been in bands throughout many years, working with just doing some, they're both brothers, by the way. They're the ones that started the band. I joined, and they actually were active for 3 years. I joined them a year after they were officially active as their new drummer. And interesting how I met the guys. I was in a guitar center getting my gear for it was a jazz gig. I played drums for my father had a concert and worked at a city college, and I played drums for him for a jazz group. It's good pay and a good time, good experience. So I went into Guitar Center to buy some stuff, just regular gear. And there's Eric. He goes, "Hey, you in a metal band?" Just calls me out because I got long hair. I go, "Yep." I guess they really needed a drummer in. That was his last day he worked there. His last hour, his last shift. So really just by the hair, I was able to hook up with them, and we've been active for 2 years now. So
okay, so of all the genres, what made you choose this genre?
Well, because for our specific thing about pagan metal is that you kind of get a sense of, we live out in the country, we live out in the rural. It connects us with our that kind of nature aspect. There's a very earthy tone to the whole genre alone. Not to mention the people in it. It's like a brotherhood. It's very strong. But what reason we do it is because we've come from all these different influences of music. You got thrash metal, you got death metal, you got power metal, one of our favorites. Just old school rock and roll, old 70s good stuff. And to actually have a genre where we can actually add all of our influences and still kind of follow a very I guess you can say just kind of a folky tone to it, where it makes you feel good. Everyone here is happy. For instance, this kind of music, you don't see fights breaking out. There's such a good vibe to it, and it's like it called me as soon as I found like other pagan metal bands when I came from death and thrash metal and black metal, and this was the one genre that I thought I could do this. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy being around it. So
okay, and how do you form the concepts? What are your song concepts about? In folk genre, like mythology or?
Well, we do have a little bit of Norse mythology. Our band name itself is Icelandic Teutonic for fatal illness. We don't write in Icelandic Teutonic. We write all in English so that our fans can understand it, because we're from America. But as most people know, that this they call Vinland there's a lot of different people from other provinces that have came to America. So it's kind of a melting pot as far as roots go. None of us are really from America, but we've ended up here somehow. Yeah. And basically, the lyrical passages go a little bit of Norse mythology. We just have a song that came out was it's called Cessation, based on some Greek mythology. We're huge historians. We love history, so we like to kind of base the lyrics on history as well as give our own twist, because you only get what's in the books. And based on what we've been able to research, we kind of add our own twist to say, I think this is what happened. Logically, this is the way we would see it. So
okay. Do you feel like what's your biggest strength
as a band?
Yeah.
Our biggest strength? I would have to say our songs. The songs that we write. That would be the biggest strength. How we write them is beyond me, but Mark, he's one of a kind guitarist. He has a lot to do with the writing, and me and him will start a song. Eric will start lyrics, and one of those three will kind of drive things in a path. But it's magical how it happens. It just happens. It's within. I don't know how it happens, but because we're all together and we've got all our gear, we're able to transcend those feelings that we have, and that's the strongest part about Helsott is our compositions.
What's the first thing that goes through your head when you're going on stage?
ready to fuck shit up.
Okay. That's a good mindset. How has it affected your personal life, being in a band?
You know what? Honestly, it's improved it. It's very difficult, because for this tour, we've spent we've worked our ass off just to make it on this tour and do what we love. And it honestly, it doesn't amount to how much money we've put in, because we all enjoy what we're doing so much. And this is kind of where our heart lies, and this is the way we want to live, even if it means we don't have any money when we get home. It's it's a very humbling experience, especially to be around great bands like Heidevolk and Trollfest, Insafirum and Tyr, all great guys especially for our first tour. We couldn't have been more fortunate to kind of line up this way, and we've all been kind of leaning that way in our imaginations, there's something more out there for us.
How did this tour come about?
Well, we've attended Paganfest for the last, I want to say, 3 years. Every time we've been impressed, because all of our favorite bands show up. We've been Pagan fans, and because of that, the way we got on specifically was we did a buy-on, basically. You pay a certain X amount of dollars, and they give you the opportunity, but you got to haul your ass. You got to bring your own shit. We're following 2 buses with a tour van and a trailer. We all bought with our own money, and we just replaced the alternator and the battery. And
is that one of those big buses, or is it a small one? Because I saw something with a trailer.
That's us.
Oh wow.
We're following the tour buses.
Oh wow.
So basically, we've made it to every show. That's all that matters. I think I got some low battery.
Yeah, it'll be good. That's on airplane mode.
Okay.
And what are some challenges you face in the bands? Like maybe a label or...
Challenges?
Yeah.
Challenges. I think the biggest challenge for any band is when you go on tour, is that the brotherhood will be tested, because you have a lot of different members, come from a lot of different places and experiences, and sometimes things get rough on the road, and whether it's losing sleep or it's this or that, people can kind of slip on their sanity, so to speak. And that's one of our biggest, we've done everything great. We've been waiting to do this for a long time, but there has been a little bit of turmoil, and that's basically just because, there's only very few of us that really fucking want to do this. Apparently, it hasn't hit others that all that bullshit needs to go away. Any kind of fighting whatsoever is just unacceptable, the way I see it, because we're so geared for the stars, and we can't afford any kind of thing to hold us back. So the biggest challenge for us right now has just been kind of keeping a solid brotherhood within the group. However, I can say that despite that, we've really been able to, since the beginning of the tour, we've been able to recover that strength and kind of find our brotherhood. So that's what we needed.
So what are your influences? I don't just mean metal, I mean anything you can think of.
Musical?
Yeah, anything you can think of.
Personally or collectively?
Collectively, personally, just know.
Well, I'll say personally, as a drummer, I'd have to start with Buddy Rich. I'd have to go on to Neil Peart. And from there, I would say Pete Sandoval from Morbid Angel. He really got me into the extreme playing. Just hearing him play was like, yeah, I like that. So, when I was young, I was about 16. I got my first double pedal. I'm 24 now, and I would run through a lot of Morbid Angel. I would learn it part for part. I would do it the same with Behemoth, Dimmu Borgir, Puritanical Euphoric Misanthropia. That was probably the first album where I was like, I heard that kind of double bass from Nick Barker and was like, oh, that is so hard.
Yeah, what about collectively?
Collectively, our influences, I would have to say, we're very into the old school. Pantera, there's a huge connection with everyone. We all, despite that we've come from different places, we all agree that Pantera is really kind of give us a push. As soon as you hear that, come on, We just came back from Columbus, actually, at the venue where he was shot. It was tough walking through that door, like for a lot of us, because we take it very seriously. It's kind of holy ground for us. And anyways, collective influences go on to Insuffurum, definitely. But a lot of the old school stuff, I'm talking like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, ZZ Top. You got Scorpions. But mainly, and as well for the newer time, like a lot of the European acts, Moon Sorrow. We have, there's so many great bands coming out of Europe that we've heard that were like really gave us a push that we need to do this in our country. Why hasn't we haven't really heard any band? Helvetii. There's the list goes on really, but those are probably we listen to a lot of that. Heidebolk as well. We love Heidebolk from the Netherlands, and
Okay.
It's hard. It's a difficult question to wrap up.
Yeah, I try to make these a bit more interesting than just normal album and song shit.
Right.
It's a book. It's not a TV segment.
Right.
I think that's everything I really got in a nutshell that I would need from you. Just one more thing. What are what do you need to? What do you think needs the most room for improvement?
Good question. I would say just organization outside. There are two things. We definitely need to be organized outside of the stage, which means getting from venue to venue, making things happen. Like we've got a system down for our trailer, and our van's a mess right now. We hardly have the time to really organize things. But I honestly think we can, like less is more, that kind of thing. But the other, I think we could use a little better stage presence. We've always been dinged down for that. Like we played a show one time, and where was that? Oh, we played with who was it? A couple of black groups. The remaining members have been here. They have a band, Braid and Camp Park. We played a show with them at Molly Malone's. This is in California. We had a Norwegian guys were hanging out, and we started talking and said, "Hey, how do you like our set?" They go, "You guys played incredible. Your music is awesome. Your stage presence is shit." So that we've been, I think that's honestly for us, the next step is adding a little bit more entertainment, because we're very involved in the music, and that's kind of the heart of what we do. So we can touch up on it, and that's where I'd say that's where our weakness is out of everything.
Okay, that's about all I need, man.